Hello everybody, welcome to the second video of this speedrun, this Metroid Fusion speedrun tutorial. So this episode we're going to, episode video, I still haven't figured this out in my mind. We're going to be going through Sector 1, I'm going to be walking through it. If we get through Sector 1 fairly quickly, I will do Sector 2 as well. For around like 45 minutes for Sector 1, then you know, we'll just cut this one a little bit short, and then because Sector 2 can be a bit lengthy, with a lot to do, but this Sector 1 shouldn't be too bad. So getting right into it, Sector 1, once you get past the Atom text, save room, recharge room, you're going to come into this first room. There are a few ways you can take it. You can, run down these platforms, which is completely fine, just to get to the other end. And, that's not a big deal. Yeah, there we go. Or, what is considered to be a little faster, is you fall down, straight down in between these platforms and just run the entire way. Now, the reason this is going to be a little bit faster is because instead of, you're running and hitting 3 different platforms, I guess 3 different platforms if you count the ground as a platform. So the reason it's faster is because as you're doing, you gotta fall this short distance, as you're going. And as you can see, okay, you kind of slow down when you're in the air, as we discussed in the first video. When you're in midair, you slow down quite a bit. Now, by dropping immediately onto the floor, you just get that in one shot, and then you can, because essentially you're cutting out the amount of time that you're spending in the air, and you're maximizing the amount of time that you're spending running on the ground, which is the fastest possible movement. So instead of going like this, and we have a timer up, so we'll just time this out. So we'll start as we go through the transition. To the door is 5 seconds. Do this again, but just run along the entire thing. I guess it is. You know what? I guess it's about the same. I don't know. I've always thought that was a little bit slower. I guess it kind of evens out though, the amount of time that you're in the air. So I guess use either method. I actually learned a bit of a thing there, but whatever you just want to run off like this, and that's fine. Just shoot the zombie as he's forming, that's fine too. So this next one, okay, so this next room is going to be interesting. You've got these little blobs that are going to fly at you. Now, they're just going to take a single shot to kill, right? The trick is going to be, and what I'll do is we're using this again, so we're just going to make a quick save. What we're going to do is, I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna run through and I'm gonna kill every single one of them, as well as kill the barrier without stopping. So it was really quick, and it might have been hard to see, but you're trying. I mean, you can come in here and you can just spam this. You have enough time where you kill the last one to where you can fit 3 missiles in. And the way you're gonna do this is you're just gonna run through and spam, and you have to angle up for the second to last one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. It's really quick. It's almost imperceptible. Because I'm just so used to it. You can even slow it down on the YouTube video. So we're going to go slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you can get hit. You can stop here and do this. It's completely fine. whatever method you want to take. And I wish I had save states, but console gang, ride till you die. It's just it's so consistent to run, and you could even get hit by that top one. You don't even have to worry about that one. I mean, the only reason that you're gonna want to avoid taking any hits is because Sector 1 is very important. You have to have really good missile management. Missile management is honestly the most important thing in Sector 1. And managing your health falls under that. So I don't recall whether or not I mentioned this. Excuse me. Whether or not I mentioned this in the first video. But when you're at full health, you're guaranteed to get missile drops. So if I get some health here, this will put me at full. Okay. I'll just waste a few missiles here. No big deal. As you saw there, I got 3 yellow X drops. The yellow X drop rate, the drop rate for X parasites, is based on a frame roll. So it's based on a number that's in the programming code. I believe it pulls a number it must pull a number randomly whenever one's generated out, and it selects a number between 1, probably 1. It's either 1 or 0 to 1024. That sounds about right. I'm probably slightly off. Maybe it's 1048, something like that. Or maybe 54. I think it's 1054. Either way. The way that it determines a drop is that every individual enemy that drops an X parasite has a specific split for yellow and green. The reason this is the case is that there are going to be times where you have less health, or not less, well, yeah, I guess less health than maximum. You're going to be missing some health, you're going to need health, you're going to need missiles. And so what the game is going to do is when you destroy an enemy, it's going to pluck a number, and if it falls in a specific range, it is a very simplified version of it, whatever that's pulled is going to generate that drop for you, whether it be health or ammo. Most enemies in this game, including the zombies, hornodes, everything, not everything, but most things, tend to have a drop rate for health that's 4 to 5. So out of 1,000, about 800 of those numbers, or of those, are yellow X drops. The other 200 are green X drops. So you're much more likely to get a yellow X when you're missing health and missiles than you are to get a missile drop. Now, you could get very lucky and you can get like 5 1-and-5s in a row in Sector 1. The problem with that is it's very, very unlikely and very situational. So really the best bet for Sector 1 is you want to keep your health at maximum. You want to minimize the amount of hits that you take, because if you minimize and you don't take any hits at all, you guarantee that every single drop is a green X and you can get 2 extra missiles. That's one of the nice things about Fusion, where if you're missing just one thing and you're maximized on the other one, you're guaranteed to get the specific drop of what you need. So in this case, by not taking any damage, and by spending our missiles, as you'll see coming up, we're going to be guaranteed to get green X drops and guaranteed to continuously get missiles. And it's always nice to keep that in mind. You know, the less hits you take, the better. The better off you're going to be. And that's just, and it'll come over time. Don't worry about that. But, you can see here, I got yellow X this time, but I should get green X from this guy. I won't get it this time. Oh, well, I got a 1-and-5. All right. And then there's a yellow X, which is going to be guaranteed. So we're back to full. I got very lucky, I guess you could say. Let's see. You can't shoot. Oh, you can. You can hit those guys with the missiles, but this guy will, it'll come in as a yellow X, but once we kill him, we'll drop a green X, as you can see. So, The most important thing for this area, Sector 1, and now that we're full on both, it doesn't matter. I cannot stress it enough. Having full health is the absolute most important thing for this area. Because we're going to be spending quite a bit of missiles, and I apologize because there is a main deck missile that I meant to grab in the last video that I did not. So usually you could have 25 missiles here for safety, and 25 missiles actually is really good regardless of the level of runner that you are, because those 5 extra missiles, they're not only a good safety blanket, but those 5 extra missiles, they're very quick to get, and they also help later on in the run when we need extra missiles. So in a few videos from now, when we're back in the main deck, after like Sector 5, after Emergency, we're going to see, and Emergency is going to be an interesting thing because it's kind of, we're going to see that, I wonder if that's going to break things. That might break. Regardless, you're going to see me grab it then. So just, if you're watching this now and you're going week by week as I release these videos, just try to keep this in mind. Excuse me. As, you're going through, or, as we get to that video, or if you know where they are, feel free to grab them. A lot of runners, myself included, I made the change very recently when I came back to the game after, a little bit of a hiatus. And I started grabbing them because it ensured a lot of fights later on in the run are really, a little bit easier, as well as, some higher level strats that, you can go for in some boss fights, one specifically, that can, speed it up a little bit, just trying to save that little bit of extra time, and you're not going to be too stressed for on the amount of missiles that you have to spend. So it's a really good cushion, 100%. And having 25 here is insanely good. So we're going to go through this room one more time, and you'll see that, I can take these hits, whatever, 1, 2, 3, as I get. So you want to start firing. Let me wipe these out. So when you get to about this point here, you're going to want to, as you step up here, as you get to the top of this ramp, you're going to want to do 1, 2, 3. And of course, that I only fired 2 there. The reason is you can only ever have 2 missiles on screen at one time, same as, you can't have more than 3 of these P-shots. You can't have more than 2 of missiles on the screen at one time. It's just how it is. Wow, I got very unlucky. That was very rude. It gave me nothing but yellow X because I took a little bit of damage. But these are all going to give me green X now, unless this guy gives me issues. All yellow, great. Whatever. But it's going to be like something like that. You're just going to, honestly, as soon as you get to this point, press the right trigger to activate missiles and just spam the B button. You'll get there, or just press it 3 times, like 1, 2, 3. Just boom, boom, boom. Because that first missile will hit. As it's about to hit, the second one will be fired, and the last one will be fired right before you hit the barrier. So you'll fire off all 3 and destroy the barrier before you ever make contact. So you can run through this room without any issues. And now that we're very short on missiles, and we're going to get to our first stabilizer room. This stabilizer room, you can come in here, you can make this jump here if you want to just jump a little early while you're kind of under it. Take a couple steps as you hit under this gray, and practice it. I like to jump like right around here where like Samus is right under the wall as we hit that gray thing, where I just have it timed out really, like 1, 2, 3, where like, come in, 1, 2, jump. You can come up here, do this, jump, whatever. You can grab this, and then come up here. I don't really think you can't really wall jump up this thing because you won't have, you don't have the height for it. You would need to be like a little bit higher and touch the very tip of it to possibly make it. Probably not. But as you come up, you're just going to come up, pull yourself up, and then just jump up on here. Got another ledge, it's right here, and just fall down. You're going to wait, 1, 2, 3. I fired 4, whoops. And you can grab this guy, and then when you come here, just stand right here. You can just jump right here, and you're going to grab those green X constantly every single time. So I'm going to do it real quick to show you, how quickly this room can be done. along with this one. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Alright, I don't know what just happened. The entire system just fucking hard crashed. It just crashed. I don't know what just happened. I've never seen that. Alright, now you're gonna get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes. Alright, we're back. Not sure what happened there, why that happened. Very interesting. But again, we're just gonna take this room as quickly as possible. Didn't get hit. Then we come in, grab this, shoot, jump, extend. Now you can hit those if you want, or you can just kind of like spin along that wall. I jumped to the right this time to grab this green X. There are some times where I'm amazed I got as many green X as I did. There are going to be times where if you're missing health, you'll get yellow X drops from there, which is fine. Again, where that first one, that's, you know, when you destroy the stabilizer, it's guaranteed to give you a green X from the stabilizer. That'll always be a green X unless, well, no, yeah, it'll always be a green X. The only time that it won't be is if you don't use missiles, and there will be one instance where that's the case. So you're guaranteed an extra 2 missiles once you destroy a stabilizer, which is really good. And then as you're, it's just constantly pumping out, X parasites, and the most you'll have here is going to be 3. So you want to grab 3 green X here. You'll have 2 floating around and the 1 from the stabilizer. You'll have used 3 missiles to deal with the barrier, and then presumably another 3 missiles for this stabilizer, and those 3 green X will put you right back at max missiles, max health. Another interesting thing to note that I'll get to in the next stabilizer room is that the door doesn't unlock immediately. You'll see like the mist will kind of dissipate, and that's going to be random, pseudo random. It's based on when you destroy the stabilizer. So you can get a fast pattern if you destroy it. I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, and this is digging real deep into my previous knowledge. I believe that when the background is bright red and you destroy it, then you'll get fast fog. If not, you're going to be waiting a little bit. It'll take a few extra flashes, and then it'll dissipate slowly, and then once it's dissipated, the door won't lock. So moving right on. So this is going to be interesting. So this will be our first kind of interesting room here. So we've got these 4 horn nodes on the ground. There's a couple different ways that you can take this room. And you know what? I'm going to save right here, actually, just to show the very different possibilities. And because the other thing, too, is that there is an E-tank in here. So if you're strapped for health, unsure of whether or not you want to grab a little bit of extra health, you don't have to worry. There's one that's really free right here, and I'll show you how to get that right now. You can come in here, just crouch down, you take 2 shots to kill, and then just roll and grab it, and then you kind of just, hi there, see ya, and then just be on your way. Now, another method that you can do, if you don't really want to grab the E-tank, you think you're a little bit safer off, you don't really think you need it, that's completely fine too. You can run in, about that plant, you can jump in between the horn nodes, fire a missile downwards, and then just continue on. So, I might have done, that happened a little quickly. The idea, though, is that as you're running in, you don't want to stop, and as you get to that little plant, that last little plant before the first horn node, that little fern on the ground, I'm trying to look for similar one in here, can't find it. Excuse me. You're gonna want to jump then. It's not necessarily an exact science, so when you're right in between them. No. Let's clear this room of enemies. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. So, about here is when you're going to want to jump. You're just going to want to jump and then just jump again. You'll land in between them, and even if you get hit and knocked back, just don't stop. You don't have to, just keep holding right and then just jump again whenever, you know, you get knocked back. It'll, you know, it's kind of tight for timing, not necessarily. That's like if you don't want to do the 4-shot missile method, and I'm not the best at it, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, this one is a 100% trick that I'm not amazing at. The idea is that you fire one there. Okay, and I basically just got it, so we'll do this one more time. You're gonna fire as you leave off the thing, fire 2 up. Oh, crap. Give me that green. Okay, well, I'm just gonna reload the save. I don't know why I'm farming. That's very slow. So really what you want to do, it takes 4 missiles, and you fire on the slope down, and then you fire 2 straight, and then you fire 1 up. Let's see if I can get it this time. Something like that, except I whiffed on the last shot. This is, again... Are you kidding? Why is it doing this? I don't know why the game keeps doing this. Maybe it's because I'm using action replay. Whatever. It might be because I'm using action replay. And we might have to change how we do this on the next one. Oh, Midnight Arcade Hits. So, there's a lot of games on here. I did not download any of these codes. I bought this online on eBay, and it just came with all this, so full disclaimer. Alright, so I'm going to try this one last time. And again, this is a 100% strategy. You kind of want to fire it like on the ramp and then just fire there, and then you can shoot and roll inside. I would, if you're kind of tight on missiles here, I would kind of advise against it. If only because of the fact that, you know, if you're kind of strapped for missiles here, you don't have enough. You know, missiles can be, you know, a little tight. Just do the jump method, or just use the pea shooter beam to destroy them. Completely fine as well. As you get through this room, again, we picked up the E-Tank just because. You're going to fall down here to this door, directly underneath where you came out of. You're going to want to, as you run through this room, you're going to want to hold angle down left, and then you're just going to want to run. And let me back out here so I can save before this game crashes again. Alright, so we're just going to run in, and we're just going to try to time our shots here. It's 1, there's 2, and this guy can be a little tricky, 3. So this third guy, he can be a bit of a troll. He can either be... Oh, hello. He could be, like, up here, up on here, in which case you have to aim straight ahead. He could be down here, where you could just, as you know, as you run in, just to hit him there. And I'll reset just to see if we get, like, a different pattern. You don't... I mean, this is a very high level... Not high level at all. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but... I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, this is the fastest way to get through the room. Just, you know, time it up. Another interesting thing that I think is important to note that I'll show you here is as I'm so you see I'm running along here. If I, you know, so what I'll do is I'll fire. You know, you see the missile. It's hitting here, right? It's hitting right about there. So I'm gonna try to fire and time it up. As you can see, with you know, we're no longer hitting that same spot really. Well, I guess we kind of are. Let me see here. Essentially, the point of that I'm trying to make is that these missiles, they'll carry the same velocity that you have. So when they're fired, they'll have the X velocity on them. So like, you can kind of see it curve a little bit as it's fired. If you watch this, just watch the smoke trail as I'm like going for it. You see it kind of goes like, you know, it's like whoop. It literally just looks like a curve that's like this. It leaves and does a little thing up, but you'll notice that when I do that here, it's just a straight linear. The reason is that, you know, you can, as it's fired, again, the original location, it's trying to fire there, but it's also getting your X velocity. Simple physics, right? So, anything. So it's basically physics that are in the game. So if you've ever had a physics class, you'll know that like gravity or velocity or whatever the case may be, you know, the velocity that it's just adding the velocity to the object. So it's the same thing with like if you're ever walking with a ball in your hand, or anything that you can just toss it right up. It doesn't matter. You don't really have to focus too much on the object, and you could try this with like something slightly heavy. Just wow, really? All right, dude. As you're walking, it's completely fine. As you're walking, you can just like toss something up, and it'll come right back down. As long as you're keeping the same pace. And the reason is because that object that's resting in your hand has a velocity, right? It's carrying the same velocity that you are. It's just at rest in your hand, but it's still moving at the same rate that you are. When you toss it up, you're adding a vertical velocity to it, but it's still carrying that same speed that you're walking at. So as it goes up, it's still traveling at the same speed that you are. So you can just toss it straight up and it'll come right back down into your hand. The same kind of thing is going on with this missile, right? So as you're running, since it's an object that's a part of Samus, this is a very in-depth discussion about a single missile that moves. But hey, you get to learn something, and if you didn't know this already, or physics. As you shoot it, that missile is not only going to get fired with that diagonal velocity or whatever the case may be, or that horizontal velocity, but it'll be fired along, and it'll have that velocity that you have as you're running. So it won't be a straight shot as you're running. It'll shoot, and it'll still go in the direction that you want it to, but it'll still have that, so it'll, it's not going to go like this. It'll just go, all right. It's going to carry that same velocity. It'll still get to where you want it to go. And that's kind of important for when we're doing this, because as you fire this thing, you could hit here, but as you fire the thing, you'll get a little bit of leeway to it, slightly. But you're going to want to fire these things pretty close to how they are. Or where they are. Sorry. And you'll see again here, I'll just, keep running along, and, it looks like I'm firing from super far away. If I fire from the same distance, it doesn't, work. If I'm hitting, hitbox, oops. If I hit, right about there, nothing. But if I do this again, though, I'm hitting, I'm firing at, the same distance, but it's traveling a little bit under him, and the explosion is hitting him. And again, you can come into this room, you can stop, you can shoot him, you can fire a horizontal missile. Anything works. The fastest way to get through this room is going to be running through and firing a missile as you're coming up to him. So that way you can just move right on past through this room. We'll do one more demonstration just to get a full shot of the room as we're going through it. No physics problems needed. Come in, fire, fire, fire. And you're going to want to... These are going to be timed up slightly differently, of course, because, they're not all going to be in the same direction. Not the same direction. The same spot. They're not going to be in the same spot every time. So, you're going to it's going to be one of those, read and react kind of things. Something that you'll just get the feel for over time, for sure. So we're going to go to the next room. Now, this is the pirate fall. There are two different things that you can do here. So instead of just dropping straight down, if you feel you need a little bit more ammo, you can go across the hallway and take this ladder. You can climb across this ladder to this missile tank to give you an extra 5 missiles. So if you're grabbing the main deck missile tank and then you grab this one, you're going to have a total of 30. 30. Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I forgot, but this is it's a quick item to get, especially in Sector 1 if your missile management isn't the best yet and you still feel like I needed an extra 5 missiles. Completely fair to get. Don't have to worry about it too much. It's really, really easy to get. And it's pretty free. So, as you get kind of faster, this is definitely one that you're going to want to cut out. The more comfortable you get with missile management in Sector 1, excuse me, as well as, you know, more comfortable with the movement. As you get more comfortable with the movement, you're going to notice that, oh, I'm taking less damage, I have more missiles. I really don't need this extra one because I gotta climb the ladder, and say we come into the room, we'll time this up as you come right into the room. On the black screen, you come across, jump up, alright. We'll run, we'll grab this missile, bang. Oops, whatever. 9 seconds, right? 9 seconds. That's okay. That's fine. But now let's time it up to where and I'll do the quick fall and then I'll explain it. So let's time it up as we come into this room and grab this missile, and and then go and do the fall. We'll see just like the timing difference. On the black screen again, start the timer. Alright, come across the hallway again. Alright, another like 9.5 seconds, 10 seconds, then we gotta make our way back. Alright, and now I'm just gonna fall down. Just fire missiles, and I hit the ground. For 23 seconds until we hit the ground, right? Okay. 23 seconds, right? That's not bad. Let's see what it now. And again, this is just like one that you'll cut out just organically. Let's see without the missile. Black screen. We'll start the timer. About 6 or 7 seconds. I may have gone a little early. As you can see, just as you get better, and you don't really need to grab that missile tank, you can just cut it out, and just cutting it out alone is going to save you around 16, 17 seconds, that's a lot of time when you're looking to like cut some time off your personal best. So you've seen me do this room twice now, and let me explain it a little bit. So as you're falling, the main idea is you want to fall along the right wall. You're going to fire a first missile down to kill that first pirate, and then you're going to want to morph. This is the fast way to do it, by the way. You'll morph and then unmorph, and then you can fire either 2 missiles and then morph again, or you just fall, or you can fire missile, morph, fire missile, and then just fall. Now, the reason that you morph during this fall is that when you morph, it resets your velocity. All right, really, you're gonna are you gonna do this right now, guy? Come on, really? All right, you're gonna do it. All right, I'll just pause. So, when you're falling and you morph, you reset your speed velocity or your downward velocity back to 0. So you set it back to 0. So you're now stopped, and you have a missile traveling faster than you are. This gives that missile time. Apologies. I don't know why the hell the bridge are I'm at the bridge. Whatever part of my nose just itches. Not sure why. So you're gonna fire. So the reason you're gonna do this is you want the missiles to hit the pirates before you get there. Obviously. Now, again. Actually, I'm gonna reset the room because that pirate deals a lot. Now again, you don't have to go for this method, but it's just going to look like, fire, or, well, not like this. That is a very poor showing. You can do that if you want, but, man, oh man, was that not right. That was slightly off. Alright, let's try this one more time. So we'll spin, fire, morph, fire, and then as you can see, like, the missile is just traveling, just on the edge of the screen. It's enough to where our velocity picks back up in enough time that we don't lose track of the missile off the screen. If we do that, it despawns, and then we're just going to hit the pirate. Now that's the method that I use for low percent. When I am doing runs of low percent, I only have 10 missiles. But we're going to have a little bit more, so, you could do this. You fire 2 missiles, 1, 2, bam, look at that. Look how quick that was. The only thing I will say is that the reason for low percent, the way I do it, is I morph, I fire a missile, I morph, I unmorph, fire a missile, and then do all that. The reason is because in low percent, I have only 10 missiles. I don't have the luxury of having like 20, 25, 30 missiles. I have to be very conservative with how my missiles are being spent. So the reason I do that is because those space pirates, they drop 2x. There are 2x drops with every pirate that's killed. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm firing a missile and I'm morphing, and I'm trying to stop my velocity enough to where those the 2x spawn. I'm able to grab them as I fall through them and they spawn, and I can fire another missile downwards, stop my momentum again, and try and grab the missiles that are, or the X, pickups that are spawning from the next pirate, and I'm just doing that to refill ammo and health that I may have lost. So this is completely doable, and if you want to do this in any percent, just as fast, it's just as fast. It's not going to be as fast as probably firing the 2 missiles like you just saw. And again, I'll do this a couple times. And I'll show, there's different ways you can do it. You don't have to do it this way. Even if you have all these extra missiles, you can just come in here and do this. Morph. And just, fire straight down. Although, you're going to be a little faster than the missiles. You'll get hit like you just saw there. I don't really know if I have a slow strat for this one, like a beginner strat. So, ooh, did I just hit 2? I think I just hit 2 missiles on the same guy. Wow. Okay. So fire morph, and then you're just gonna want to unmorph and press down again, and you don't have to slow again. You don't have to slow down again, and you can just. As you get past, you can unmorph and continue on. Now, there is a chance that one of these pirates can be very, very rude. There's a chance you can get a 4th pirate. Like that. That will hit you. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. Whether or not it happens, just make the best of the situation. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why. I've just had the urge to yawn. Just haven't gotten a lot of sleep last night, I guess. But let's see, if we can just bob and weave in between these to be, pretty effective. I mean, you can also stop yourself on this platform as well. Fire a missile down and stop on this platform. And then come on this platform. And then you might have an extra guy there, but, it happens. Do something like that. I mean, however, if you can develop... let's sit here and we can try to discover a couple different ways to do this room. You don't even have to fire missiles at all if you don't want to. I'll grab these missiles just because, so we have extras. Extras are always, especially when you're learning, they're always good. Always good to have a little bit of a safety net. Just meant to drop off the ladder there. Alright, we'll just come down this way. You can kind of... And you can kind of just stay along here, dodge whatever shots. You just stay in the middle. That works too. I mean, it's completely... Again, and I'll say this a lot, it's completely up to you however you want to get through these rooms. Now, you can sit there and you can practice to try to get through the rooms, along the right wall, which is going to be 6 or 7 seconds. Bob and weave in between the platforms. I mean, it's all the same. So I'm going to do a quick save here, because there's 2 ways you can go through this next room. Maybe multiple different ways. That, I don't think I pressed the wrong button, so let me just hit that again, just in case. Because we're going to go through this next room. There's going to be it's a small room. Just fire a missile and then continue on. Now, you could stop if you wanted to. Or you can use the pea shooter like this, just spam the beam. If you want to save missiles, you can kill them with the beam, the pea shooter as well. Now, the one thing you're seeing me doing is that I'm running through the water. And again, that's very important. The fastest way to get through this room is to run through the water. I know it seems slow, but if you to come in here and then jump, you got to remember that as you're, you know, you don't make it out in one shot. You're still under the water. You know, even if you're down here, you can you still won't even make it out. So the other thing, and again, remember, when we're jumping, we have half of our horizontal velocity. So at a certain point, we're going slower than we would be, you know, if we were just in the water, technically. If you want to jump over, or, you know, run in here and just do, I guess, something like this, maybe? You know, okay, sure, go for it. I mean, that's completely fine. It's up to you. Again, it's up to you. But, like, again, you'd kind of want to, well, get out of the way, jerk. Just come in here and, even running in the water isn't that bad. Like, it might be a bit slower. Like, it might be just, like, a tad bit slower, but again, you're not really spending any time in the air, which is always a good thing. So this one, and I'll show you a couple of different ways right now how to get across. So, you can just come up here and just, as you jump, just hold up and left. As you're running left, just you can kind of even run like this too. You know, just holding up and left. So by holding up and left on a ladder that's a horizontal ladder, holding the direction you want to move as well as up will allow you to grab the ladder, because you need to press up to grab the ladder. As you can see, I'm just pressing A, not looking up, but when I look up, that's when I grab the ladder. You can press A to let go. So look up, grab ladder, press A to let go, and then you can just left and right to move, and then you can aim downwards and shoot down if you want to. So the reason that you're going to want to hold up and the direction that you're moving, and this will be used later, is once you grab it, you just start moving. It's a very seamless transition. Very quick. Ooh. Alright. Interesting. This one might be a little bit longer than an hour, guys. I apologize. Heck. I don't know what's going on with this stupid thing. We might have to switch over to, we might have to switch over to an emulator. Something that I never use. So some of the tricks that I show might be a little different. But this is the best way that I have right now to record something like this. That's not an emulator. But getting back to this, so the other way that you can cross this room is you come on top of here, and as you run off, just hold left, and you'll grab the ledge. Then hold right, and then press A, and you'll just kick off the wall there. It'll take you some time to get the handling, like the stuff down, but at a certain point it'll just be, you know, second nature to just press right and press A immediately. You know, run down here on these things, climb up, and then just pump 3 in there, and then you can climb down the ladder a little bit, and then, you know, kick off the wall, so that way you can grab the missile. And there's really nothing else to this room, to be completely honest. This room, you're just gonna move through. I missed, and shoot that little horn, the armored guy there. Again, that's really it to this room as well. So again, just run through, bang. And you can fire, I believe you can fire dead ahead as well, so you don't have to look down. I think you can just do this. Ooh, no you cannot. I lied. He is not as high as I thought he was. So yeah, again, you're gonna run in. As you're running, you can jump over him if you want. I didn't, but I'm just not used to jumping over him. Run in, fire a missile, bang, just keep going. Easy. Very easy room. A lot of connecting rooms right here. Again, this one, just run straight forward. This guy, alright. There's a couple different things that I do here. So here, you can either grab these rungs, you know, wall kick up, or you can just wall jump here if you want. Wall jump, and then you can do a wall kick if you want to grab the ledge. Wall jumping will put you on top of the thing without having to grab the ledge, like this method would have you do. It's because with the wall kick, you don't actually get the same amount of height, because you're kind of just you're kind of kicking off at a lower point. As you can see, when I kick off of here, as I run in, I'm kicking off the gray, and I'm kicking off like the very top of that, so it gives me that extra bit of height. Now this guy, So when I'm going to do this, I'm going to hold up right, and I'm going to start climbing. And then I'm just going to fire 3 missiles right there. Easy. And then I can just let go and, you know, get up here and be on my way. Or, if you want to be a little bit more risky with your missiles, come in here, fire a shot off screen, and then fire 2 more. If you tink the first one, sorry, hang on. If you tink the first one, you can do that. What I tend to do, sorry, that's not the usual strat that I do. I apologize. I fire 2 missiles usually. So I just need to listen real quick. And then I heard that I hit 2 of them. Then the second one, if you want to go fast, you can kind of move over and see where it is. If it's moving downwards, you just kind of time it up to where you release and fire the missile and just shoot a YOLO missile. It could go wrong, and I'm sure that there will be a time where I miss it, and I'll show you how to get a backup for that. Right here. Go 2. I inevitably hit it off screen. Of course I did. You can just wall jump here and then do something like this. And just fire like that, or you can, you know, wall jump off of there and then come back over here. But then you're just going to come back over here and then come back down. Now, again, you're tight on missiles. There's a missile tank right here that's very easy to grab. Very, very quick. You can get it on your way out as the smoke clears. You got another 5, and then we're just going to be on our way here to the next room. Next room is actually going to be pretty technical. So we had the pirate fall. Now we're going to have the pirate climb. And I'm going to show the fast way to how to do this pirate climb first. It's going to be very quick. And I'll explain what I'm doing here. So I'm going to fire a missile. I'm going to wall jump. I'm going to grab here and fire another missile before I kick off. Oh, I got a red X, and I'm just going to... Uh-oh, come on. And then I'm just going to be up there. So, again, very quick. You do not have to do that at all. You can go right then left. You can do this if you want to. Run in, shoot that guy, hit that guy, this guy, and then, oh man, there's a guy there, whatever. Grab this ladder, and then I'll grab here, and then boom. Easy, right? The way I'm doing it is technically going to be the fastest way, because you have to grab as few ladders as possible, and it gets you to the top of the room as quickly as possible. So as you run in, you don't even have to do anything else. Just run in and then just hold up and then fire a missile. Jump up, wall jump off of there to land there. Grab this. You might have to shoot a missile at this guy, maybe, but you can climb it up to about here. I mean, you could do this as well. I mean, just like, get out of here. Do something like this, and then as soon as you grab the ladder, do that, and then just, you know, grab the ladder again, fire a missile up, and then you can jump on that platform and jump off. Now again, you're gonna probably have some dodging of these pirates. Some, potentially. But if you want to go from side to side and do like the ladder climb and stuff like that, it's completely fine if you're not comfortable with wall jumping yet. I didn't fire the missile. You fire the missile to destroy that guy, and then to get up here as quickly as possible. As long as you're not an idiot like I am, you should be able to grab that ladder as long as you're holding right. Missile, jump. I hold up right, and you just grab a little bit of the ladder there. Whoops, hang on, stop hitting me, please. So used to different physics from the ROM hacks. You can grab here and then do like a ledge grab. Or you can, you know, if you're feeling ballsy, you can wall jump off there, up there as well. Just as something a little, also nice health. Just something a little different. There's like a couple different ways you can go about it. Ideally, the fastest way is to go up that one wall. But again, this isn't bad at all anyway. By any means, this is completely fine. I mean, you don't even have to come to this one. You could just run here and just stop and then go up this way again. Get these guys out of the way, and then boom, you're on your way. So again, this next room, you're just going to run, and you're just going to shoot it as you run through. It's probably already open now, but about like 2 steps and just shoot it again. Now this room is going to be interesting. All these rooms are interesting, really. So you just run in and just fire straight ahead, and then just aim up and just you can destroy that. Then you can jump up and shoot those blocks like that. You can also do the you can come up here as well, clear these guys out if you wanted to. To where you're climbing up here if you're not comfortable with doing the water, and then shooting the blocks out like right there. Now the timing, and I don't really time it up ever. I just spam the button, the shot button, whenever I get into that room to destroy the crab, and and then as soon as it's destroyed, I just angle up. So I just I just spam fire. It's fine, whatever. Nice health. Come in here, fire. Here he's dead, and then I just shift my aim up. As long as I take out the first block, we're fine. There are times where I don't, at which point you stand like right about here. So there's this little like split plant. The front leg should be like on the split, and you can fire. As you can see, I'm gonna be hitting right where that first block is, and then you can just run. You don't want to jump too early, because if you jump too early and you're too low, you're not gonna get it. So as you come up the ramp, you can jump, grab this guy, do a neutral jump and fire. It'll just be an A-B press, and then just roll right through. Now, very important, as you can see, next eye door. Come down, morph. If you need to farm, you don't have enough missiles, there's 2 Hornodes. You can kill them, and then more X will come in, and then, oh, hey, look, a green X, and then, hey, look, another green X, because I'm at full health. So I've got nothing but green X drops coming my way. Oh boy, more green X. But you just keep doing that if you want. I mean, the ones that'll spawn in off screen, they're always going to be yellow. Always. But once you destroy them, or check your against where your missiles are, and you're fine. Over here is a save room if you want to take a save. Whoops, I forgot about that. And then this guy's gonna be real easy. So I'm gonna save right here. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna save in here. Hope that doesn't break things when I quick save here. Alright. I'm just gonna come through, and I'm gonna show you what you can, okay, I can just jump away from those. Nope, didn't get it. Jump away. There's 1, 2. Great. Easy. Now, you can go for doubles on this eye door. It's absolutely possible. We'll try it right now. Okay. You want to be like right about here, jump up, and when you jump up to the ceiling, you're gonna want to touch left once. I didn't get it. Essentially, what you're gonna want to do, to hit this is you need to fire the missile immediately as you spin. So it's going to be a jump. As you jump, you're going to do a small hop, you're going to fire a missile, and after you fire the missile, you're going to press A to start spinning, and then you're going to press B almost immediately. Because you want to fire the missile as you start the spin. So when she starts to spin, it fires the missile from the lower back of her sprite. And so that way you kind of like... You're essentially lining up the 2 missiles then. So we'll see if we can get it here. It's a very tight one. Stand back here, press left once or so. I didn't get it again. Probably get it here though, right? That worked. I mean, to be fair, it only took 1, but both of them still hit at the same time. Again, it's really tight timing. So this boss is the charge core. I'm going to create a safety save right about here. So as we run in, we're just going to fire a missile on this this last dot right here, so that way the missile carries into the thing. And now, if you want to, you can just kind of stand on this platform and fire missiles down. I believe it is like frame perfect to get doubles on this guy, but it can happen. He only takes 4 missiles. I missed somehow. I missed twice, and then this is its sweet spot right here. So another method you can do, and if you don't want to do that and you want to try to go for doubles, because you can go for horizontal doubles here, is you can do this. Run in. I missed. I fired too early. Stand right about here. Or, well, I guess you can stand right about here. And then just, you know, as you would the eye door. You just want to kind of line it up to where you kind of want to eye it up to where he's like a specific distance away. I don't really ever go for this strategy. There are guides on how to do this. And I guess technically I should be covering it in this, except I'm not the best at doing the horizontal one for this fight. I do something slightly different, which I will also go over. So maybe right about here, maybe that second pillar. I was a little too early. Alright, how about there? That worked. Alright, so we'll do this again. As soon as he hits that pillar, I got 1 double. So I got a double in. It's just the distance thing that I kind of struggle with that moving target, where you kind of want to hit, like, line it up with the background. It's a little difficult. I think it's a lot more difficult. I'll try it one more time, so when he hits that gray pillar, probably. That worked. Oh, hello. Hang on. That was a double. That first one was a double. That also would have been a double. That would have been a double-double. So I essentially just figured it out while I'm trying to teach it to you. So you'll want to line yourself up here, like at the edge of this gray pillar in the background, and as soon as it hits, like right about here with the open eye, you're going to want to do like a jump and then fire or something like that. As you can see, I'm kind of like firing 2 missiles there. Whatever. Now, the method that I've been doing recently, that I've picked up, is it's a play on that. But we're gonna go for downward doubles. So you'll see what I mean here in a second. So I'm gonna this fight is gonna be the same every time, but I'm gonna stand about here, right? I'm gonna jump, and I'm gonna reset. That you didn't see that. That didn't happen. Boy, oh boy. So the other odd thing about this is that the eye core, its hitbox is oscillating. It's a square, and you can only hit it when the eye is exposed. But I fired a missile, I guess. I'll do that. That tinked, and then I hit a double. Ideally, I hit a double on the first jump, but yeah, so the charge, the beam core axes are slightly different, as you can kind of see. You can't damage them like you can in normal ones, so if I fire a missile, nothing happens. But, that little eye, which oscillates, again, it oscillates, because it's great. So you can just tink missiles right off of the hitbox. The hitbox is actually that little square where the eye is, so it's a tiny square, so the way you have to go for doubles on these guys is actually slightly different. So that was unfortunately 1 missile, that was 2, and then I'm just gonna kind of jump over it, and then bang. That could have been better. Again though, if you want to, you can go the easier route and then just do the platform, do the little platform kill. That's completely fine. That's a really good method as well. It's very safe, but if you want to get a little bit more risky, you know, like right around here maybe. I keep firing 1. Heck, dude. Not sure why. Regardless, I've shown you the 3 different methods that you can use to do this. We'll just do it for realsies this time, and we'll just do the platform method. We'll just stand here on the corner, wait until it stops moving, jump, and then fire missiles down. You can fire 2, and the off chance that you hit a double, it's like frame perfect. I didn't get any. You can kind of jump off and then, well, it could hit the missile, but I just didn't. And now we've got Charge Beam. Charge Beam is the most broken weapon in this game. The way the Charge Beam works, and I'll do it right here. As you can see, the beam is a little bit wider, right? So the best way I can demonstrate this is by shooting the ground. When I shoot the ground now, you see that there's two little like splashes that hit as it hits the ground. So what this is the beam is actually firing in two parts now, the top part and the bottom part. And the way this gets broken is that as you can see when I'm firing the charge beam, if you look at Samus's arm cannon, and I'm hoping that you can kind of see it. Hopefully the frame rate is good enough. You're gonna see, like, on the arm cannon, if my arm is the arm cannon right here, you're gonna see a little, like, thing that's gonna swoop back like this. So it's kind of going, like back towards Samus. It's kind of looking like curving back towards Samus, right? Look at her front knee. Where her front knee is positioned, you'll see that little thing that's like kind of sweeping under the beam. That's the flare. So that is also would also deal damage. So the upgrade from the normal beam, in which it deals 2 damage per shot, a fully charged charge shot, each particle is going to be dealing 10, and then the flare does, I believe, 6. If I'm recalling correctly, I believe it's 6 damage. So if you're gonna hit something with all 3 parts of this beam, both portions and then the flare, you're going to deal 26 damage to it. Whereas the missiles deal 10 each, and then your pea shooter does 2. But like this beam, I believe, base does 6 without it charged. So it's a comparable upgrade, and it makes the eye doors much faster. It makes a lot of things much faster. So getting out of here, you could come up this way and just run across, or if you want to grab this ledge right here, just hold right, press A, and keep it held in. Just hold A so you can get your full distance, and you can just grab this ledge. So what I do when I come through this door, I have a charge being charged, I run in, I jump, and as I jump up onto this platform, you know how, like, I've been kind of shooting the platforms to stand up faster? The same kind of goes here, and I think this is a strat that I'm pretty sure I developed a long time ago when I first started running the game. I don't think there was anybody else doing this. They could have been, I don't recall. Honestly, I really don't remember. This is like 7-8 years ago. You run in, and as you kind of are about to land, you just let go of the shot, and it'll, as you're holding the left trigger, it's gonna hit this block and destroy it. And then I just, I wall jump there. You can, ledge climb. Again, if you want missiles, grab this here, fire a couple missiles, and then you can come this way, and there's some missiles down there. They're not fast, they're not particularly quick, but they are there if you want them. So things are going to be a little different in this next stabilizer room. So let me do a quick save. So we're gonna run in and we're gonna destroy the stabilizer, but we're just gonna show how broken this beam is. We're just gonna take a hit, and it's dead. It's gone. So what I'm doing there is I'm taking a hit on there intentionally, and the reason I'm doing this is because taking a hit gives you invincibility frames, and so that way you can pass through objects. What this allows us to do is it allows us to get inside the hitbox and release the beam, and there I just missed. I shot a little too low, and I missed a portion of that beam. But it's very easy to get yourself back in. And I'm showing one method where I'm standing on the platform, I'm jumping, hitting, done. However, there are a couple different things you can do, different ways you can get it. This next method requires a little bit more read and react. You grab this, and then you just kind of, you just kind of have to judge where it is to where, like, when you release it. I'm not the best at it. I'm garbage at it, apparently. But as you're falling through it, you're just going to want to have to time it up. The good thing about the first one that I did is that you can kind of, get it almost immediately. This one, again, is just, proper timing. It's all about proper timing of when you release that. And there's another little interesting thing that you can do with the beam, with a fully charged charge beam, and that is something called R shooting. So, again, I'll just show this again. Just take a hit, and then as you take the hit, as you jump up and hit max height, hold left. And holding left, what holding left is going to do is it'll hit you into it, but as you get knocked back, you'll just start falling in that direction again. So that way you're falling directly into it. And once the center of the of this, you can see, your charge beam. It's kind of like, it looks like a crosshair almost as it's like sucking energy in. You're gonna want to wait. You're gonna want to release it as it's like right there, like in the dead center of the stabilizer to deal the most amount of damage. Now, there's one method that I'll explain to you right now, and that's R shooting. The fully charged charge beam, you would think, oh, I have to release and then I have to press and hold it again. As you can see, when I do that, I can, I release it and I press and I shoot one. Well, instead of doing that, I'm just going to continue to hold the charge thing, but I'm going to activate missiles with R, and by doing that, it fires the beam. So again, you'll see that. Let me just. My cord is over there. Okay. So I'm holding this, right? And then here's my R button. Back up here, right? This way. So I'm just going to do this. Press it once, and I never take my finger off the button. It just constantly, I can just keep doing this, and when it's fully charged, boom. This will be used a couple times throughout the run. It's really helpful, and I'm going to use it literally on this next door, actually. So this next door, what I'm going to do is... quick save. As I pass through the door, I'm going to hold a charge shot, and what I'm going to do is I can do one of two things. I can either release the charge, I can release the shot button to fire the charge, or I can press the R button through the transition, and I'll do it with R first. So I hold it, you can see it lights up, and then boom. So with this shutter, the reason we're going to hold charge beam through the door is that when we are, passing through the door, if we let go of it through the transition, or we hold missile through the transition, what that's going to do is that's going to enable the beam to be fired on the very first frame that Samus is controllable again, and I'll do it by releasing this time. And, I'll show you that, like, if I don't do it, if I hold on to it after the transition, it's like, oh, oops, you have some leeway. But by doing it this way, you're ensuring that I'm completely letting go of it. And I'll show you with button inputs. Let me just, okay. So this is my shot button. Man, okay. This is going to be a little awkward. Keypads. Here, okay. I'm going to hold left. Not left, right. It's my left, your right. So I'm going to hold left with this one, and I'm going to fire with this one. So I'm going to hold the charge. I'm going to hold L up here, and then I'm going to press right. Oops. I'm going to press right, and I'm going to let go of the button. And doing this, it fires it on the very first frame, and it ensures that you're going to hit that shutter every time. So coming up through this way, you can do a couple wall jumps here, wall jump, and then up here, or you can just, do something like this. Again, there's a save room right there, and the interesting thing about this save room, if you still feel like you need extra missiles, shoot this block, and then you can do some wall jumps up here to get the demo missiles that you see in the start screen. I'm not going to grab them here because usually those are ones you're not really going to grab anyway. It's just there for the option. Again, for this one, to get through this is the fastest method to get through here is to go wall, platform, and then stand up, and then shoot. So kind of like, whoop, I just did not let go of the button there. Boom. It's going to take practice. Same with any wall jump technique. You're just going to have to practice it. You do that. And again, this room is another climb, so I can just go through this and then just, as I showed you in the first video, just do the little thing where I press shot and then A right afterwards. And by doing that, you'll get this kind of like, you'll see me shoot, but it doesn't look like I'm unmorphing at all. it's because like I'm immediately just. It looks like I'm spin jumping off of like. It's kind of like it kind of looks like a space jump. It doesn't look. I don't like stand up like at all. Now that's the faster way to do it. You know, you can kind of just come up here. You can come up here too, and just do it like that. Very easy, very like just very movement based. It's all again. I'm gonna beat this. I'm just gonna beat this phrase to death. It's whatever makes you comfortable at the end of the day here. So all right. This next one is this. So this is the last stabilizer. It's up here to the right, the one room that we haven't gone in. So that's the room that we came from, where we started. We went down from there, and we essentially looped around the entire area. So now this one, I'm going to run in. I'm just going to fire. I'm going to clear up these blocks. I'm just going to fire forward, shoot these guys. I'm going to go here, fire diagonally downwards. These are crumble blocks, these three. And then I'm just going to hold a charge and then just do a small hop. That didn't get it. But ideally, I want to just... Oops. I just want to do something like that. I just kind of want to do a short hop and release it, and it'll destroy it immediately. Yeah, you could use missiles. That's fine, too. But again, the charge beam is so broken, you can just hit it and shoot it with one shot really quickly. So, yeah, again, just kind of look something like this for something fairly fast. Bang, bang. There, and then just, oops. You'll run across, and then, boom. Look at that. It's that quick, that simple, that easy. Now, there's other... I've actually seen a... I think it's Destructor that does this. Man, I really don't want to be calling out the wrong person, but I think it's Destructor. They have a really good strat. Whoever it is, I'm sorry if it's not... if I called out the wrong person. What they do is, they use the strat from the last one. They actually damage boost... What they do is they damage boost off of that core node. They do a straight jump, and they use those iframes to get into the stabilizer, like the last stabilizer room. So it'll look, I guess, something like this. I really hope I don't butcher this strat. Oh, whoops. Well, I butchered it. I haven't seen... I've seen this like a few times. It's a really interesting strategy if you want to go for it. It's... I don't believe it's any faster than the last one that we did, where we just do a small hop. You know. Oh, well, wait. Yeah, just like this. Big damage. Well. God, I have no idea how he does this. Yikes. This is also something that I've only ever seen recently, and it hasn't been something that I've practiced because, like, at a certain point, like, yes, it's interesting, that's different, but my muscle memory is, like, 8 years deep at this point. So, like, everything that I'm doing is kind of, ingrained in my mind. Oh, I almost had it. It's like, okay, and then bang. Something like that. But if you want to, I think it's Destructor that does it. And again, whoever it is, I'll link it in the, I'll make sure to call them out in the description below, as well as a link to their run. Or, well, a link to their run on the leaderboard, as well as a timestamp at which you can watch the strat. But essentially, it's the same as the one that I had just done, right? You kind of run in, and you're just doing just enough to, deal enough damage to the eye door. And again, if you want to come in here, just, okay, do this, get this guy out, run up, kind of shoot off here, you can wall jump, you can kill this guy here. If you kind of want to shoot him before you jump, so that way you're fully charged here, and you can, 3 missiles, easy. It's all relatively quick. I mean, it's all very, very quick. There's nothing really, too much to, going on about it. But again, you come in here, press A. It's a very quick input to pull yourself up immediately. Take that guy out. I'm fully charged. Oops. And then a small hop, just to hit the charge beam in all parts of it. And then as you're leaving, you're going to come out here, you're going to fire this, you're going to just let go of it, and you're just going to jump. Now, turn around, doofus. Alright. Very, very important. When you come through here, you can come through, and if you hold down and you start shooting the frame you gain control of Samus, and you spam the shot button, you will kill all these Hornodes. Just like that. Just like that. It's that simple, that quick, that easy. My mouth is a little dry, sorry. Been talking for a while. Stay hydrated while you play. I'll just, whatever, and then just the first one. Another method that you can do, I believe, is when you walk in with the charge beam, you can just hit the first one with the flare, and shoot the second one, so something like this. Something like that. Except don't get hit, like I did. One more time. And you can go as slow as you want to go in this room until you're comfortable with these, kind of movements. But again, I'll just do this one, and bang, boom, look at that, easy, very easy. This one, and again, this is all just getting out now, so this one is just run up here, you can, grab the ledge if you want to. I don't think you can kind of wall kick off there, so yeah, you can't. I wait to I go up the ledge here to about there, and then I just jump backwards, I spin jump forwards, and I move myself back. As I jump, I immediately start holding right, and then I just unspin by shooting. So something like that. Boom, boom. Easy. And then as you fall, just bob and weave between the platforms. So this room, as you go through, you can also do the same thing with the charge beam that we just did. You just wait until that first one gets in range. I missed. And then you're just going to spam, you're literally just going to spam the wide beam throughout the hallway. You can also just, hit this one first and then just spam the beam forward. That also works. And then you're out. As you leave, you just kind of want to hit this guy on the way out and then do 3 quick jumps. Again, just run in. First one, boom, boom, boom. As you land on this one, you can just kind of angle downwards and shoot him if he's kind of close by. You could come up here, grab this ledge and do this. It's slightly slower though, because you're pulling yourself up on the platform. Let's time it, actually. Let's time it. Trying to come up here. That's 5-6 seconds. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's just reset that so we got a good gauge. Come up here. Boom. Boom. 6 seconds to the black screen. Alright. As opposed to... It's probably going to even out to be the same thing, to be completely honest with you. I'm just so ingrained in, what I do that, I forget a lot of the timing methods for these. I felt like it was a little too early. It's about a second faster. So, just running along and jumping on the platforms, it's about a second faster. There you go. But again, now we're back in the recharge station. Got your save station right here. And we've got Adam text. Good old Adam text. And again, you're just going to mash through as quickly as you can. We're not really... Basically what he's saying is they've invaded the second sector. Get over there now. And you go, okay. And now we're just going to take the elevator ride up. And this is where we're going to end this video. We'll do Sector 2. And again, another instance where you press and hold A. We're going to do Sector 2 in the next video. That should be uploaded next Sunday, unless I'm feeling a little adventurous and I film it a little bit early. Sunday should be the next episode. God, it's not a TV series. Heck. But yeah. We're just gonna get to the top of the elevator here. And, oops. Camera stopped. I don't know if I can quick save here, but we're going to anyway. And that was Sector 1. Hopefully I covered everything in Sector 1, all the important information. Um and to just recap, Sector 1, health management is absolutely important, as is missile management. Full health will mean you get missile drops every time. And, being able to keep track of your missiles and stay full on missiles is going to be very important until we get the charge beam, because the charge beam can deal it can hit enemies that the pea shooter could not, and that missiles can. So you can be hitting almost every single enemy with the charge beam. And with that charge beam, we're going to be dealing a lot of damage, just massive amounts of damage, with a fully charged charge beam, and yeah. So, and again, that's how we get through. We're going to get through some of the eye doors like this, and as well as those stabilizers, very, very quickly. But I want to thank you all for watching. This has been part 2 of this Metroid speedrun tutorial. We've got a lot of the game left. This is just the beginning. Like I said, I'm trying to make these about an hour long each, or to cover at least one sector in the very least, while distilling all the information down to you guys. God, excuse me. So that way, you understand. You all can understand, like, okay, different room strategies, as well as why we do certain things the way we do them, and have like alternate item locations that are rather quick that you can grab, that are just on the route, and so that way you guys can apply this to your practice and whatever else, so that way you can start speedrunning the game and kind of get into the flow of it. But thank you all for watching. Look out for the next video. Look out for part 3 in about a week, if not less. Be sure, if you're watching these as they're coming out, you want to catch them as they come out, hit the subscribe button. That way you get the alert every time it comes out. But again, thank you all for watching. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.